Good evening, friends. This is Umesh here again, and we tried to analyze the paper and the cutoff for the recently held ADI examination yesterday, and we are finding that increasing number of coaching institutes are predicting more than 245 or 250 marks as their cutoff. So this is a very small video where I have tried to provide a reality check as to why the cutoff cannot be above 235 marks. So let's see how it is. So I've kept the PPT in हिंदी ऑल्सो. सो जो वास्तविकता की जांच है उसको करते समय हम देखते हैं कि क्यों ऐसे कौन से फैक्ट हैं और फिगर्स है जिसके आधार पर जो रियल कट ऑफ है वो 250 प्लस नहीं बल्कि 233-35 के आसपास होना चाहिए. 225 से ऊपर जा सकता है डेफिनेटली. सो लेट्स सी. सो while analyzing the paper, we find that there were 150 questions. That means 300 marks, and there was 1/3 negative marking. That means 0.66 marks had to go with each negative or incorrect questions. So based on this only we can estimate the cutoff. Now let's see. We had 100 questions from CSAT side where we had computer, we had Chhattisgarhi, Hindi, and English languages. We had logical reasoning, numericals, and then analytical reasoning, the questions of communication skills, and a few other sections like trigonometry, basic number system, others, etc. So most of the students could have maybe solved 90 to 95 questions out of this 100 from the CSAT sections. Now, looking back the history and what is the trend, there may not be 92 more than 92-95% accuracy, whereby at least at most 85 question could be correct questions if one solves around 90 to 95 questions. So it means we get 170 marks, and when we look after the negative marking aspects, then definitely one could make a mistake of 9 to 12 questions. That means it translates to a minus marking of 6 to 8 marks. So from the CSAT sections, we find that the best students can also score around 160 to 164 marks if they solve around 95 questions, 90 to 95 questions. Now let's go for the CGGS question part. So there were 50 GS questions. Most of them were about on the easier side. So let's see the best students who could be preparing for Vyapam and CGPSC prelims and mains, or even who could have qualified the CGPSC, could have solved around 45 to 47 questions. Out of this, at least 5 to 6 questions has to go wrong, because even one had qualified the CGPSC, then also the accuracy of not more than 90 and 95% can be expected even in CGPSC, Vyapam, or any other examination. So out of these 45 to 48 questions, we would find these 39 to 41 correct questions, which will on an average translate to 80 marks from this section. That means if we consider a loss of only 6 questions, negative marking from only 6 questions, then there will be a loss of 4 marks. So from this particular section, at most 76 to 78 marks could be the best marks. Consider this. Now let's go ahead and calculate the overall cutoff figures. So in the right side, I have kept the cutoff marks of the recently held CGPSC prelims examination of 2024, which was declared in this 11th of March only. So now see, from the last sections of our analysis, we ideally get the best students who will solve the 95 question in CSAT part and around 47 questions in the GS part shall score around 242 marks. This is the best possible marks which could be considered. Now let's see the practical approach. Practical was this one. You can see where we assume that out of 90 to 95 questions, we correct around 80 questions, 82 questions, say. So let's see, this translates to around 162 marks in the CSAT side and 76 marks in the GS side. That is 238 marks. Okay. Now, averaging the two, this ideal condition and a bit of practical stages, we get 240 as the best score, which would be on an average around 240 marks. So the toppers or few students or aspirants who could have done much better could be scoring around 240. So now averaging out and like estimating the cutoff marks, we will get around 230 to 235 maximum, and 235 we can see would be the maximum marks. Now as to how we arrive to this particular marks, if we have already estimated a 240 score of 240 as the average cutoff for the ADI, why we reduce it to around 235 marks? Now let's have a look on this written exam result of CGPSC prelims of this March 2025 only, the cutoff marks. Here the maximum marks scored by the UR general open category was around 148 marks, but the cutoff marks, that was the minimum marks, was around 110 only. In the UR female also you can see it was 141, the maximum marks, which we are arriving at an average of around 240 to 242 in case of ADI, but the minimum marks, that is the cutoff marks for the UR female category in CGPSC 2025 was around 112. Likewise, you can see OBC open in CGPSC mains, they had scored 125 as the maximum marks, and the minimum marks, that is the cutoff for the OBC open category, was 105.8, 106. So you can already estimate around a difference of around 20 marks. So this difference will definitely reduce because the number of posts is less in case of ADI. So we have only 30 posts. So maybe we will have a reduction of few marks only in the minimum and maximum marks. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 marks, 4 marks difference. Then also, if we see from the 240, we are calculating as the best marks of say 20 to 30 students, then also the cutoff will go down. Okay. Now let's go to estimate the category wise cutoff marks. I think this justifies our stand as to how we are arriving to the cutoff of around 240 marks, 238 marks for the ADI examination. Remember, examination, the environment of examination puts a bit of pressure where 1 or 2 questions can easily be done incorrect or can go wrong due to the pressure side. But since the pattern of exam was very easy with diverse sections, one can do few mistakes due to the overconfidence side also. So we need to remember this particular point also. Now, this 250 plus cutoff marks, it is a myth, and definitely if the highest marks people can be around 240 marks, I'm sorry, here it is 228, it is 238 to 240, then as to how it can cross to around 250 marks. Okay. So for scoring 250 marks, one has to be more than 95% like accurate, and they should not have left even 5 questions. Okay. So this is it. Now, different coachings and other experts score and estimate the cutoff marks more and more around 250, 260, etc. But one has to be very, very practical. So we need to be very much scientific while arriving to the expected cutoff marks. It should not ignore the reality of the aspirants and the exam environment, etc. So even there are 2 to 5 questions which may be cancelled or omitted from the GS plus CSAT question papers, which can further reduce down the marks. At least 5 questions I expect from the GS and CSAT marks, 2 to 5 questions which may get cancelled. So this will also have impact on the cutoff marks. So definitely the cutoff will reduce further. Now that is why we go to estimate the minimum, average and the maximum cutoff marks. So the minimum, on the minimum side for the general open category, we can estimate a cutoff of around 225. It may go to maybe 228 also, and then average estimation for the cutoff marks for open category will be definitely the most practicable figure we arrive at is around 230 to 235, and the maximum, on the maximum side, looking the limited number of posts, that is only 30 posts, we can have a maximum cutoff of around 242 to 245 marks also. That we can definitely expect because then looking into the increasing number of competition, and since it was for few select categories like MBA and engineering and a few maths, geography and other candidates only, we can have this definitely 240 figure or 243 figure, etc. But in no case it is possible to reach to around 250 marks. So definitely you might find some justification that from this particular PPT that we will not see a cutoff of more than 250 marks in the recently held ADI examination. And expected cutoff for different categories accordingly can be reduced to around 235 to 40 for open category students, 232, 233 to 235 for female categories. For OBC, it may be 230 to 232. For OBC female, it may again be around 230. For SC, it may be around 225 to 226, 7, etc. It may further reduce to 1 or 2 marks. Then that means a deviation of plus or minus 5 marks can be seen from this particular estimated cutoff marks. And for scheduled caste female category, it may be around 222 to 223, etc. It may further reduce to around 220. For scheduled tribes open category, it will definitely be around 220 to maybe 218 to 223. And for ST female, it will be around 215 to 220 marks. So this is how we have arrived to a conclusion of our recent last video, that the cutoff marks of this 250 plus is a myth, and it is, making castles in the air only by looking to the easier nature of the questions. Obviously, I would like to emphasize once again that the level of question does not justified the nature of the post. I already told you that few years back CGPSC had organized a Pune's examination, and there was the question of standard of questions were far better from these particular examinations. So it is a matter for experts of the Public Service Commission of Chhattisgarh to set different kind of questions, but then predicting the cutoffs, we get these particular points. Now definitely there is not much days, maybe within 25 to 30 days we will see the result of prelims, and within few days we will see the model answers by the CGPSC official model answer, and then they will invite the objections from the aspirants, and within maybe 10 to 15 days it may be solved also. So this is all for today, and going ahead we would suggest that one should not keep looking and worrying about the cutoff marks, etc. One has to be satisfied, and we can review also our performance. One has to definitely rely on the PSC and its objective nature, transparent nature while declaring these model answers, and we expect that they provide better quality of model answers where we see least number of objections, and if they have to omit some questions, they do it in the initial stages only. And then going ahead, irrespective of our cutoff marks, we need to prepare for UPSC, CGPSC, etc. We will have these exams in January, February for the CGPSC, and we should go to practice for the CGPSC mains. We need to solve the CGPSC mains, those who have not written the mains recently, and then also we need to prepare for the UPSC or CGPSC. There are some news that there may be more post from the industry side from CGPSC, which is the post of assistant managers industries, which may be more in numbers, maybe around 80, 90, 80 to 100 post, which I have heard only, but I have no official confirmation for this. And again, there may be upcoming post of chief municipal officer, CMOs, SCF, and a few other posts will come. So definitely we should learn from this examination and the question paper, and we should also see that the nature of questions may be kept very easy, or it can be kept very hard also. As in the case of the CGPSC mains, the paper, especially the part of science, was kept, they raised the bar in that particular paper. So this is all for today. And again, I would request that CGPSC blueprint is for those recent students who would like to prepare for the examinations. And likewise, we have one CGS UPSC Pathfinder pre-coaching, mentoring, and orientation program also. They are very, very flexible for about 30 days to 60 days, which demands a commitment of around 1 to 1.5 hour on daily basis, except your own studies at home, which under which we cover that daily classes syllabus PYQ orientation, pre-coaching studies like NCERT's syllabus, optional selection, and this particular course will be available on both online and offline modes for you guys. So I wish you all the best, especially the students and aspirants scoring more than 130 marks in the ADI examinations. Even those students who are scoring more than 220 marks can wait. They should be positive. They have done very well, and they should prepare for the interview. And once the result is out, we can go for other examinations, especially for the CGPSC or UPSC as per our focus. So thank you so much.